Well everybody, it's time to revisit fixing a flat tire. You're out on your road bike and you get a flat tire, what do you do? Well, I'm going to show you step by step how easy it is. Not only that, we're going to do the rear tire. Here. It's only flat on the bottom though. That's a joke, that's a bike jumper. Sorry. The first thing you need to do is take off the rear wheel. And it's much simpler than you think. A lot of people are extremely paranoid about taking the rear wheel off, but it's very, very simple. The first thing you need to do is release the brake. Okay, and what that does is that opens up the brake caliper so the tire will fit through. So the next step is you need to put the chain down on the smallest cog. That's your highest gear. Okay, so I'm just going to pick it up, click the shifter till it's down there. Okay, and you want that on the outside. You want the chain as far as on the outside as possible. It just makes it easier to take the wheel off. Next, you're going to open the quick release lever. And quick release levers, usually on the inside will say open and then closed on the outside, so you know which is open, and that's the loose position. The next step is, all you got to do is lift the bike up, and in this case the wheel fell right out. Sometimes you have to pivot the derailleur out of the way, but that's how easy it is to take the rear wheel off. Then you can just lay your bike down, can't hurt it. Lay it on the left side, not on the derailleur side. Now we grab our seat bag contents, and what the main ingredients in here is a tire lever, a tube, and a CO2. Okay, you can also use a little hand pump, but we're big fans of CO2s. They're very convenient, they get your tires up to pressure. So you're going to take the tire off the rim. And you take your tire lever, it goes underneath the bead, and then you're just going to slide it around. Okay. And then you're going to pull the flat tube out. Pull it out. Okay. It comes right out. Now what I like to do is I keep a little cloth rag in my seat bag somewhere. And I take this cloth rag and I run it on the inside of the tire, because if there's a piece of glass or something in there, you don't want it to cut you, so the rag will catch it. Okay. So you're just going to take that little shop rag. Now we have this tube that has no air in it, and it has a nut and a valve cap. Be sure to take that nut off. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is you need to give this tube some shape. And the best way to do it, if you have a little pump, you can pump it, but with the Presta valve, you just loosen a little nut. See that little nut? I loosened it, and I blow it up. And then I tighten it down so the air that I put in there doesn't leak out. So now I gave it some shape, and it fits up in the tire better when you do that. The next thing is, you find the valve hole, you put the tube valve in the hole, and then you tuck the tube all up inside the tire. Tucking this tube all up inside the tire, all the way around. Okay. So we want the tube up over the rim inside the tire, okay? And still this bead isn't on yet. So we're halfway there. All you need to do is start working the bead onto the rim. And I'm really just pushing that up. And in 99% of the cases, you should be able to do this by hand. And I highly recommend you do this by hand, because if you used your tire lever, there's a real good chance that you're going to pinch the tube with that tire lever. So it's much better to get it on by hand. And some are easier than others, but most of the time you can get them on. Okay, next step is I'm going around and I'm looking to see if the tube is pinched under the tire anywhere. I'm checking all the way around, okay? And I'm also making sure the valve is up inside the tire. Very common to see the tube pinched right at the valve. So I'm just giving that a little, making sure that's up in there. I'm checking all around, and I'm checking on both sides. And because we gave this tube some air, we know it's up inside the tire. All right, so now you're ready to air up the tire. You got the tube up in there, you checked your bead. The little nut that I told you to get rid of, you actually want to use it in this case. I wasn't thinking. It just gives you something to press against, okay? Then you take your CO2. Most of us use 16-gram cartridges, and it threads right into this tool. So what you have to do is you have to puncture this cartridge. So I'm threading it in and I'm puncturing it. Okay, so now we're ready. All you got to do, if you think about it, when you push on that, gives you air. Lots of air. Okay, make sure your nut is loose, okay, on your valve. Then you set that on there like so, and you give it a push, and there it goes. See that? Ooh, yeah. Smoking. Be very gentle when you take it off. You don't want to break the valve, right? Tighten your nut. I'm going to just take that off because I don't use those. That's it. 100 pounds of pressure. The next step is putting it on. You pick up your bike, and you can see it makes sense that the gear needs to go between the chain. You know, the bottom part here, go between the chain here, the bottom part and the top part. Okay, and you remember what gear it was on, right? So I'm going to set it right on that high gear, the smallest cog, then I'm just going to let it drop in. Okay, and that's it. The wheel is sitting straight, and then I'm going to tighten the quick release. Right there. Look, now it says close. At the same time, you want to eyeball right here and make sure that your wheel's in straight. And then you're going to tighten down the quick release, and I always like to tap my brake. Make sure it's spinning freely, and that's it. Now if you're getting ready to go up a hill, this happened in the middle of a hill, you want to put it back into your low gear. So I put it back in a lower gear and we're ready to go. I always carry a monkey wipe. What that is that's a little grease monkey wipe for us grease monkeys. If you have any other questions, give us a call. And we'll be doing some clinics too. You can come in, we'll teach you firsthand how to fix a flat tire.